Hi guys and welcome back to the channel. Today I've got two replays in the French tier 9 premium medium tank, the Char Futur 4. Now this is a medium tank at tier 9 that I thoroughly enjoy. I always have done since it came out. It's one that you do have to get used to. It plays like a stealthy medium tank and a little bit of an assassin in that way. The thing you have to get used to with this tank is that 4 seconds intro clip, which is what you're seeing at this current moment in time. Because the intro clip is a little bit long, which means that if you go in too aggressively, people will shred you very, very quickly. But on the whole, as long as you get the gun aimed in, the gun's pretty damn good. The mobility is pretty damn nice. It's got very, very good camo. And you want to be trying to play yourselves in flanking positions using camo and concealment where you can to maximise the ability of your tank, and then getting these 1600 damage clips out. Like I say, it is slow at getting these 1600 clips out because it is a 4 second intro clip reload, and that is a little bit long. And to add to that, your actual clip reload is 31 seconds with the full setup that I have, which is also something that's a little bit long. But you do have good penetration at 264 on the standard APCR rounds, which also, have a good velocity at 1461. And you have also very good heat rounds at 330 pen, but only has like 1,000 meters a second or something like that on the shell velocity. But, 330 pen at tier 9, we will take that. We will take that. And as long as you get this gun aimed in, like I say, it can be okay. But yeah, the gun can also derp a fair bit as well, which it can be annoying at range. Because sometimes the gun just decides, yeah, I don't like this, I'm just not going to work, sorry. And then you end up missing a load of shells and you sit there going, but why, gun? Why? It's one of those where it can be frustrating. But as I say, if you get it fully aimed in and you're making sure that your shells are aimed, you will hit the target. And you do have a 2.7 second aim time as well, which can be something that, yeah, if you've come from a full stop, it feels a little bit long to get the gun aimed in. But you'll do okay with this. Like I say, I kind of like it. I feel like it's a more reserved playstyle, and if you use it to its best ability with the stealth and just start slapping in these shells consistently, you'll have a pretty good time. And yeah, I just really enjoy this tank generally. Although it is a pretty damn expensive tank, which is something to bear in mind. I think it's like 17,500 gold if it comes on sale. Or it's like 350k free XP, I think it was when they put the tier 9s on sale. Which, 350k free XP, if you end up having a build-up of a lot of free XP, you can get it a hell of a lot cheaper, which is definitely nice. But never worth the full price. I always say that sort of money is too much. Always wait for discounts, and always wait for the ability to pick up something for far cheaper as well. So in terms of a crew on the Char Futur 4, I do run Born Leader, Rapid Reload, Sixth Sense, Situational Awareness, Camouflage Expertise, Muffled Shot, Steady Aim, Snapshot, Run and Gun. Now the 3 gun perks to make this gun as good as possible, because like I say, it can be a bit derpy at times with 0.38 accuracy and 2.7 aim time. So making it as good as possible with the gun perks is why I do it, so that, I have every chance of hitting those shots. I was unlucky to bounce that. And then the camo perks, because like I say, this tank has very good camo. I want to be able to maximise that to full effect, and therefore I can stay on spotter for longer while dealing with the very long intraclip reload. You could possibly drop Muffled Shot, by the way, and put on Silent Driving instead. In fact, I probably would drop Muffled Shot and put Silent Driving on instead. That way your camo stays better while you're moving, and that will help with the sort of stealthy playstyle that the tank has. And in terms of equipment, I run the camo net, the vertical stabilizers to help the gun as much as possible, and the optics to have as good a view range as possible, because you do only have 380 meters view range, which is, when you get to tier 9 mediums, you're kind of wanting 390 to 400, so, 380 is not the best, although it's not bad. So I want to make it as good as possible with having stuff like situational awareness, Born Leader, food, and optics. And the camo, like I say, to make your camo really, really good. So as you can see so far in this game, we're up to 4.1k damage with 607 assistance, 5 kills as well. We are on for the top gun, which is what we're going for. We know there's a TD up here somewhere. It was an AMX. So we're just hoping to try and catch him out. But he's ready for us. It's like, oh, God, hello, AMX. He gets a shot into us. We got a shot into him. And we're just waiting for intraclip. He does have a faster intraclip reload than we do. We snap the shot. Unfortunately, it goes above him. And we're going to risk it for a biscuit. And we finish off the AMX AC-48. And finish the game with a really nice total for the Char Futur 4 on Nebelberg. We finished with the victory. 6 kills, 4.6k damage. The 1790 base XP, that's what, 5.2k combined? Pretty decent game for the Char. Ace Tanker, Top Gun, and yeah, like I said, that 1790 base XP. Pretty damn decent game for the French Tier 9 medium tank in the Char Futur. I'd say it's just, there's something about it that I've always enjoyed since it came out, and like I said, that ability to stay stealthy, that ability to get around with the mobility, and just keep putting out the hurt. The penetration is also great as well, which helps when you're dealing with those very tier 10 matchups all the time, pretty much. But this second game, it's not a tier 10 matchup for us. It's we're a top tier 9, which is lovely. Doesn't come around all that often. And we're going to have a pretty damn nice game here on Rosanai. So on Rosanai, we are going to go up top. We're going to go up the D line to, up the 9 line and onto the rocks at about D9 to try and see if we can spot anyone that's crossing the B line and get shots into them early doors. Because you never know, you might spot someone, you might be able to get some shots in and it'll be alright. I think this replay is from a wee while ago, I'm not sure. We'll find out if it's before ribbons or not. And what we're going to do, like I say, is we're going to poke up on top of this ridge and see if we can spot the enemy team, which we do. And yeah, as you can see, it's before ribbons because we've still got the old XP counter instead. But we're just going to start pumping shots in where we can. We are detected, which is a risk, but we are auto-aimed onto this Tiger 1, which Tiger 1's easy doors pens, and we get rid of that tier 7 heavy really quite easily. We're up to 1357 damage with 239 assistance, and now we're on the move. Just make it look like we're running away while we are reloading, because we don't want to make it seem as if we're sitting still, because there is artillery in play, and artillery will hurt us in many ways, and it's not a good time when artillery likes to just hurt you. So now we're nearly loaded. I'm thinking, okay, you know what? I'm going to make the aggressive play. We're going to try and get into the corner at A7, because by getting into the corner at A7, we might be able to get close to the guys that were spotted here, be able to light them up, get assistance for it, and be able to get our gun in the game. We might also be able to shoot people in the back that are towards the castle. But currently, this is where the camo is really nice. We are getting some shots into the VK4502A and the Mouse. We should, well, Swindle shut down the VK4502A. Now there's a Lioness driving out. We've got 1 shot left, and we slap that shot into the Lioness. We're up to 2.5k damage, and so far we've hit most of our shells, which is nice. I think we've hit 3 each clip. And while we're now reloading, we're going to push to a position where we are behind this rock over here. And as you can see, we are actually getting assistance as well on stuff like the Lioness and that Wotconsole 4, which is what we want to do. So we're going to swivel, and we're going to back up on top of this little ridge to poke out behind this rock, but also facing the other way so that we can get out of dodge pretty damn quickly, if physics will let us climb. Now we're reloaded, it is time. The EBR, I'm kind of like going, EBR, please, kill the Lioness, because now the Lioness is dead, I'm not going to get spotted while I pump some shots into this Wotconsole 4. So we get a shot into the Wotconsole 4, and I was hoping I'd tracked him in place, so we went for the second shot, and unfortunately, the second shot went nowhere near. Can't quite find the shot into the Jagdpanther 2, and the Wotconsole 4 managed to actually get away there, so we couldn't get another shot in. So I decided, you know what, okay, screw it, we're going to reload. And, of course, when we go for the reload, when we had 2 shells still in, the VK101P just... visible rage! As you can see, the VK101P... goes straight across the open, because why not? As soon as you've hit reload, that is always the way it goes, right? I wanted to be loaded so I was ready to go in on stuff like the Tortoise and the Mouse that we knew was over here. But we're nearly loaded once again, ready to go to get the shots into these guys. The 1390 we just got to be careful of so that he doesn't spot us too early running around. And then there's this VK101P. I was just looking for shots at the VK101P, but unfortunately for me, he just stops in place, so we can't quite find the shell at him. And then he just drives out, and it's like, okay, that's his ass. Alright, Mr. VK101P, don't mind if I do. And we are just going to... hopefully kill this guy. We get a shot into his back end, which actually I think that did break his engine. And we end up shutting down the VK101P. We're up to 4.2k damage with 683 assistance, and once again we are reloading. And this is our last full clip of APCR. So we've got to bear that in mind. And thankfully that Waffle Panzer IV also, this is camo by the way, because he has very good view range. That Waffle Panzer IV doesn't spot us as he pulls out, which is great. Again, this is why you set up for camo, so you can wait for the longer reload, you can wait for the longer intricate reloads to stay unspotted and stuff like that. Really, really helps in that regard. And now we're nearly loaded, we can go. And I say, because we've got one full clip of APCR left, we do have to be careful. We have to bear in mind that we aren't going to be able to reload a full clip once we've fired it, which means we might have to consider reloading straight to heat if we're not careful. But we get spotted and we get detected, which makes me go, absolutely not. Now there's a Waffle Panzer IV in a position that we can't spot it, and there was something else in the direction of that Waffle Panzer IV. That position that we were in there, it was just untenable. The moment we were there and we got spotted, it was just immediately detected. We couldn't see the Waffle Panzer IV when it was fired. It's like, nope, that position is not good anymore. That's not going to work. We have to move. And at the minute, we are losing. It's 8-6. The game's on a knife edge. We have to turn this game. So what I'm going to do is just look where my team is. My team is at C7, C9, D9. You know, there's a guy at G9. We've got shooters, but we've got no one in the position towards the castle. So we want to get towards the castle to try and find the enemy team and shut them down and just outspot them, really. So we get 2 shots in that shuts down the Eradicator, because fortunately enough he stayed out. Then we get lucky that we bounce the Waffle Panzer IV. We get a shot into this Waffle Panzer IV, and it's like, well, you know what? I'm going to take the hit to shut him down. And unfortunately for me, he actually had the big gun, which really, really hurt. If he had the small gun, it would have been better, but hey-ho. We're down to 468 hit points, which means we've got not too many hit points to play with. We switched to the heat rounds now, as I say. I was always bearing in mind that I only had 2 rounds of APCR left. And we are going up on top of this hill, because the Tortoise is currently spotted. And with 330 heat, we should be able to go through the Tortoise as a cupola. But at this range, and at the angle he's at a little bit, it's a little bit awkward for this gun. So we are going to make sure that this gun is as aimed as possible. And unfortunately, we missed the first shell because we fired a little bit too soon. He is also wiggling, which makes it awkward. We do get the shell through the cupola there. The Tortoise 332, which makes him a 1-shot. And the 3rd shell out of the clip goes through and shuts him down. We've got one shell left in the clip. So what I decided to do was poke up on top of the ridgeline and see if we could see anything in the castle, and then I'd be ready to fire. But there wasn't anything there, so we went for the reload. Now we're boosting our reload with food. There was 2 things in the cap. Now there's only 1. It's the medium tank. There is only 2 tanks left. There's an artillery as well. So we're just waiting on this reload, and it's kind of like, will I get the opportunity to fire at the cap here? And I realised, well, that thing was spotted in the cap, and I had shots at it. Our TD is going in, so you know what? We're going to put ourselves in a position where we'll be able to fire at it when we're reloaded. And we do fire at it, but unfortunately, he ends up getting shut down by the SU-101 before our shell gets there. There was no point just charging towards the cap, because the TD was always going to spot what was in there, no matter what. We just had to be in a position to support when he did get spotted. Unfortunately, like I say, for me, the shell didn't go in. But he did get shut down, so that's alright. Now there's only 1 tank left on the enemy team. It is a artillery, which we know where it's going to be. It's going to be somewhere down here, and it's clearly before the artillery changes as well, because it's only got 340 hit points. So this is one of those that has been in the vault for a wee while, and it's just been waiting for a new replay to go along with it. And the Lorraine is spotted, drives in the open, and gives me a pretty damn nice free shot. And we end up finishing that Lorraine 15550 with a shell there, and we finished with the victory. 6 kills, 6,082 damage, 815 assistance. The ace tanker, the high caliber, the top gun, 1780 base XP. A really nice game for the Char Futur 4, a tank that I do really enjoy, just because I like the mobility, I like the camo, I like the gun, and the clip potential. It's just a shame that the reload and the interclip reload is quite long, but I suppose that's balancing factors. So as always, everybody, thank you very much for watching. I'll see you next time.
A great success!